Hey, what's up with it, King? What's up with it, Queen? You already know who it is. It's your big bro, Demont Pope, aka Mr. Purpose over pointless excuses. Yeah, y'all already know my job is to inspire, right? My job is to motivate. My job is to educate and ultimately empower. But listen, I bring you very special guests every week. And guess what? They do the same thing. So this week, we don't stop. We're going to continue adding value on top of value on top of value. Y'all know how I do it. But look, if you haven't already, I need you to hit the subscribe button, right? Yeah, I need you to hit that notification bell so you know when we drop a new content and I got new guests. Also, I need you to type some comments, man. Like it, share it, do what you got to do to let everybody know what's going on over here on the King Speaks podcast. But look, without further delay, right? Without any more wasted time, I want to present to some and introduce to others my very special guest, Mr. Kenneth Allen Thomas, also known as Kenny Clutch. Yeah. What's up, King?
What's going on, man? What's going on?
Man, I'm good, bro. First of all, I want to thank you, bro, because you got a lot of things going on, man. When I met you last year, you was moving full speed. This year, it's accelerated. So I just want to thank you, bro, for taking time to grace us with your presence, bro.
Hey, man, absolutely, man. I appreciate you having me on. I'm excited, bro. I'm excited to be on here, excited to tap into your audience, give them what it is that they need. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it.
That's it. That's it. Without further delay, King, let's right off into it. Let's speak to him, man.
Yeah,
So go ahead, man, and let everybody know, because I know you, right? But I want everybody to know you, right? So go ahead and let us know, right? Who exactly is Kenneth Thomas, right? Or Kenny Clutch, right? And what exactly is it that you do, King? Speak.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So first and foremost, to the audience out there, for those that don't know me, Kenneth Allen Thomas, also known as Kenny Clutch. Clutch stands for Creatively Linking Upon the Culture of Hip Hop. So that is like, you know, kind of a little acronym that I came up with years ago. I was always known as coming in the clutch for someone or something, whatever the case may be. But I am a dancer by trade. But first and foremost, I'm a man of God. I'm a husband. I'm a father of 4 with 1 on the way. So that's awesome. And also now a leadership coach and inspirational keynote speaker. So a little bit more about me. 20 years ago, got into the dance game. I'm a dancer by trade. That's kind of like how I got the nickname, the Dancing Dad, over the internet, which I'm sure we'll tap into a little bit. But you know, my claim to, I guess, fame or popularity on the internet came from my youngest son right now, Christian, who was born with Down syndrome. He was born with Down syndrome in 2017. Down syndrome basically means you have trisomy 21. That basically means that, you know, the 21st chromosome has 3 copies of the same gene. You normally get 23 from mom, 23 from dad, but Christian has 47 chromosomes instead of 46 chromosomes. So he has an extra chromosome in his body, which makes him extra awesome, extraordinary, you know what I'm saying, and all that good stuff. And then about 14 months into his life, Christian was diagnosed with leukemia, AMKL. And he was actually born with a rare blood disorder that led to leukemia 14 months in. And that's where everything kind of like shifted and changed for us. At that time, I was speaking. I mean, I was teaching dance at my own dance studio. I had my own business called the Level Dance Complex at the time here in New Jersey, and was doing it. I was providing for my community. We had well over 70 students in our facility, and we was giving them that work. We was giving them that real hip hop. We was giving them that real street dance, but also providing positive value into their lives at the time. All that came crashing down when my son got sick. Priorities had to take over. And, you know, from there, I just started like zoning in with my son and dancing for him every single day in the hospital. And from there, we just started taking off.
Come on, man. So I want to spend a little bit of time right here, bro. Because you talked about that name coined, the Dancing Dad, right? Which pretty much catapulted you into the social media or the internet. In my opinion, stardom, man, because you went viral, and not just once, but you went viral and kept going. You know what I'm
I keep
saying?
going viral.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you continuously doing it, bro. And let's talk about Christian, man. So when you got the diagnosis, right, from the docs, and I like how you put it, right, because you just said that we get 23 from our dad, 23 from my mom, but you said Christian, instead of 46, he got 47, so he got a little more extra to make him a little more dynamic, to make him a little more special.
That's
and
right.
I be watching him and I be seeing him, and he truly is indeed extra special, extra loving. It's like he make my heart melt, man, every time I see y'all together, specifically specifically when y'all doing the dance thing, bro. And that's what
Mm-hmm.
caught my attention, man, because every time I see you and you're interacting, bro, it's like you keep that level up here. So I want to ask you this, right? Like, I want to just dive into it. Like, first of all, when you said that shift took place, right? When things changed, when he got that diagnosis and you were running the studio and you was bringing that real hip hop, you was teaching, then you had like 70 something students, right? What I want to know is when that shift took place, like, how did you know? Because I'm assuming Christian was the motivation for you shifting from 100% dance, which is your trade, into your calling, into your purpose, which is taking what you are experiencing and you use that thing, bro, and you bring inspiration, you bring power, right, to the whole world. Like, I've been on your platform, the Shift House, and I see what you do. I've been a part of what you do. So could it be said, I'm gonna back up and ask you after this question how long you've been doing it, but is it possible that Christian was that inspiration, that motivation that caused you to catapult into your purpose?
Yeah, it was a multitude of things. It was a multitude of things. Christian was the spark.
Okay.
Right? Christian was the spark of it all from the very beginning. Let me back up and tell you this. This is how it kind of went down. And this is what I want everybody to get as well too. So during this time, Christian was getting blood work done every, like at least 3 times a week, right? 3 times a week just to make sure that his blood was good because he was born with a low platelet count. Okay, for those that don't know what platelets are, those are the blood cells that clot your blood. And in the case that you get a paper cut and stuff like that, blood cells rush to that finger or wherever it's at to the cut to stop the blood from actually continuously bleeding out, right? Christian was born with around 10 to 15,000 platelets. Me and you, bro, we probably got like hundreds of thousands of platelets in our system right now. Wow. You know what I'm saying? So that's how low it really was. And that's how the leukemia was going to be able to form. So he spent 10 days in the hospital, making sure that his platelets can get up to a certain level where the doctors felt comfortable enough where they were going to continuously mutate, right? Yeah. When Christian was diagnosed with leukemia, this is a day where me and my wife, we were taking our kids out. We would say, all right, cool, we're going to go to this doctor's appointment over at CHOP because his hematologist saw something in his blood, wanted to get a second opinion. So we say, all right, cool, it's probably going to be the same thing, get his blood work done, everything checked out. It became kind of like our new normal where he's getting his blood work done, every couple of days. It was just how we lived. Yeah. And I was going to take my kids over to Dave & Buster's over in Philly, and we were going to have a good time. After we got him checked at the hospital, what normally takes about 45 minutes turned into 2 hours. 2 hours turned into 3 hours. And then on that 3rd hour, the doctor comes in and says, listen, we got to rush your son down to the emergency room right now. And we got to do surgery on him. We like, wait, what's going on? What's happening? Well, your son has AMKL leukemia. And I'm like, what? Like, explain. So basically saying that his platelets are low. His platelets are under a certain way, and it's mutated into leukemia, which is cancer, which is going to, can affect him, immediately. So we don't know how long he had the cancer or anything like that, right? Christian was going through different spells of fevers at the time. So, what we did was at that moment, we said, all right, cool. If this is what we got to do, this is what we got to do. Here's what I want everybody to catch. People will oftentimes ask, what was the shift and how the shift happened and what was it? The beginning of the shift was me learning to remove myself to improve myself.
Speak, King.
Okay. That was the beginning of
run
the
that
shift.
Back. Wait, run that back. You got to run that back.
Yeah. So the beginning of my shift was learning how to remove myself to improve myself. Now, here's what I mean. Here's what I want everybody to catch. Most times you have people that when you hear the words cancer, you associate it with death, right? You hear cancer or you hear something tragic happen to my loved one. You associate it with the most negative thing possible, right? Inside your mind. And this is what's so important. We have to learn how to remain sober-minded when situations like those come in, right? Remaining sober-minded, extracts us from being emotional and making emotional decisions as leaders that will affect our family, affect the people that we're leading, affect our community. So we have to understand how to learn how to remain sober-minded. So what I did was I removed myself from the room. I left the room. I left the room to go pray to my God. I left the room to go get instructions, because a real leader will make sure that they get the right instructions to lead the people that he's leading. Right? You could talk to you could talk to Moses, you could talk to Abraham, you could talk to anybody or whatever from a biblical standpoint, and understand that, yo, I get my instructions from above, right? So my family at this time, I heard God say these words. This is all part of answering your question with the shift. Was he said, set the atmosphere. Set the atmosphere for anybody right now that's going through something, for anybody out there right now that's going through a rough time, right? Anybody, I don't care if you're a father, a mother, you a teenager, and you're going through whatever it is that you going through. Maybe it's mental health issues, maybe it's a relationship issue, maybe it's financial issues, maybe it's, you're having limiting beliefs on yourself. You got to set the atmosphere. Okay, you got to set the atmosphere. You got to set everything in place and set everything in motion. Here's what we did. I don't care if you're a nurse, a doctor, a tech. I don't care if you're a tarantula, bro. Straight up. You come into this room, you got to have a positive mindset. You got to have a positive attitude. I don't care what you're going on through personally. We talking about my son and we talking about his life right now. You enter this room, that means you part of this team, right? So that means we all got to be on the same page. Everything has to be aligned. When everything is not in alignment, right? There's this dysfunction, there's chaos, everything is all over the place. You look at the best teams that have won the Super Bowl, right? They win with alignment and assignment, right? They know their alignment and they know their assignment at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So alignment and assignment. If anybody that is coming into your life, you got to vet them. You got to check them. You got to check the fruit. If they don't align with what it is that you're doing, then they don't belong. And we've had those, we'll get into that, but we've had those instances. So the shift that we're talking about here came from me remaining sober-minded and learning to remove myself to improve myself. But that came over a course of experiences that I had through life, knowing that this moment I've been ready for. This moment ain't nothing. This moment, we already won the fight before it even started. I already knew that we won. I oftentimes say when we change the mind, we change the game. You know what I'm saying? Not you, we. Not when you change the mind, you change the game. When we change the mind, we change the game. It's a collective effort. It's a collaborative effort. So the shift really happened at that moment when my son was diagnosed, and we ended up going into the hospital room. And going from there, I started using my gift to make the shift inside, which is my gift of dance and leadership, dancing for my son every day in the hospital.
My goodness, bro. Like, this is good. Like, hey, like, I don't know if y'all can see, but I got chills on my arm right now. Like, I want y'all to see this. I want y'all to know, like there's a difference, right? Gifting, talented, all those are one separate entities, right? But it's something about the anointing. And like I'm completely going off script right now, off plan, because something like shift has taken place. A shift has taken place on this interview, and I want the viewers and I want the listeners to know, to be aware, because you said something key. You said something key. You said you removed yourself. Like, you led by example. You removed yourself in an effort to set the atmosphere, and you said that shift took place once you removed yourself to get properly aligned vertically, right? You aligned yourself vertically with our creator, right? With God, right? Whatever other people want to call it, right? Like, we call him God, right? We know him through Jesus Christ, right? So when you got your vertical connection right, then you were able to transmit what you got from him. You were able to transmit that horizontally to those who were in the presence. And you said, look, if your heart ain't right, if your mind ain't right, if your attitude ain't right, you can't even come in this atmosphere, because there's a shift that took place. You said, this is my son we're dealing with right now, and I ain't playing no games about it. And the reason why I think I got chills, Clutch, is because I'm about to reveal something to you, bro, that I don't talk about often, right? I don't even know if I've really dealt with it, bro, because I haven't really gone through the process. I've kind of compartmentalized it and try to keep moving. But listen, bro, this is 2022, right? 12 years ago, I lost a son, right? My son took his last breath in my hands. Clutch, like, they took him off the life support, and I held my man. And my man took his last breath in my arms. And I avoid these situations, bro. I try not to talk about it because I don't want to pull up these emotions, but sometimes somebody need to know when they going through the worst situation, man. They got to know that there is a God. There is a God who is able to fill you up. And when he fill you up, you can fill up the people around you. And listen, Clutch, this is what I did. I removed myself from the room. When the doctors were talking about my little man and talking about his brain, right, being dead and there was no function and he couldn't respond to things, I had to remove myself from the situation, Ken. I removed myself, bro, to get that vertical connection right, because I couldn't hear that. I couldn't process that in my flesh. So I had to remove myself, get into a location by myself where I can talk to my Heavenly Father and get that vertical communication right? That vertical line of communication. And then I did the same thing you did, bro. That's why it hit me the way it did, bro, and kind of rocked my world, so because I told everybody you were not allowed in the room if you had doubt. You were not allowed in the room if you were coming to spectate and just look and see the condition that my boy was in. Like, you were not allowed in the room. Family members, right, took it personal. It wasn't personal. It was spiritual business. It was spiritual business. So I commend you, bro. Like, you've come on here and this ain't even the shift house, but you done shifted, right, the entire atmosphere on this podcast, bro. And I'm here for all of it. Let me ask you this. I gotta dive deeper, right? So when you made that shift from today, right, on this podcast, how long have you been, right, on this purpose, on this road, right? Since that shift, how much time has gone by? Talk about it.
Since day 7 in the hospital. Since day number 7, I documented the days. From day 1 all the way to day 149. Right? I documented the days. And on this path, on this journey, here's what really kicked it into high gear. I was under the mindset, still in the hospital, still in this mindset of, all right, when we get out of here, the studio is going to be awesome. We're going to get the studio back, you know what I'm saying, to where we need to be. Because what I was working 6 days a week in the studio, and we pushed it down to 2. So I'm still in the studio mindset of dance. That's because that's what I do for a living. But God was like, nah, we're going to shift that. There's a time where, Kenny, you're going to have to trade in your career for your calling. Right? And I said, wow, like, what do you mean? There was a moment where, as I'm dancing, one of our videos had went viral, and there was a guy that hit me up in the comments and said, wow, if you didn't post this, if you didn't attach the message and the caption to it, then I was going to check out. That's when it hit me, Demont. That's when it hit me and said,
that's heavy.
God is saying, I don't want you dancing on this stage anymore. Why dance on a stage with, a couple thousand people when I can give you platforms that will go around the world? And I said, wow, like, okay, so stop living in this bubble, because I created you for much greater than this, right? Remember, he said, you will do greater things than I, right? For those who believe, right? So at this point, I started shifting my mindset even more. Yo, this moment right now with my son is helping other people around the world. How can you give people, enough of you, even though you're going through a trying situation right now? Can you give people enough of you, even though you are going through the worst time in your life right now? Are you still going to serve, even though right now you feel like you're going to pass, even though you feel like you're going to die, even though you feel like it's about to be over? Can you still go out and serve? That right there is the true test of a leader. That right there is the true test of someone willing to serve. Because oftentimes we sit here and we get impatient with the process. We get impatient and we want. But the reality is, inside your impatience, you should transition that to waiting. And what I mean by waiting, I mean serving. I don't mean just sitting, I mean serving. You go to a restaurant, you get served. That waiter or waitress is waiting on you. What do you want? What do you need? What can I give you? What can I get you right now? Do you need more? What else? Is everything okay? Are you willing to serve at the end of the day? And that was the challenge for me. Am I willing to serve throughout this time, right? Or am I going to shut everybody out and say, no, I just need to be with my son? No, 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 no. See, people get it wrong. They sit there and say that you only live once. Well, that's a lie. You only die once, but you live every day.
Oh, bro, wait. Bro, this is hot. It's hot. I got the chills again. You got my eyes watering a little bit because my allergies, and I don't even have allergies, right? Run that back again, bro.
Say you people always say that you only live once. We have a YOLO type of mindset. But the reality is that's a lie that people have told you all your life. You don't live once. You die once. You live every day.
My God.
Right? You live every day. I'm 38. You know what I mean? I got thousands of days under my belt. That's thousands of days of living. And I just feel the spirit. Let me just get it some real quick. Listen, here's what y'all gotta understand, yo. We take advantage of the breath of life that we have. Because subconsciously we know that it's always there. But one day it's not going to be there. The average person breathes at least 23,000 times just in one day. So you got to be careful and you got to start counting your blessings for real, for real. I said the average person breathes at least 23,000 times just in one day. Scientifically, look it up. Google that, John. Right? 23,000. Now you take 23,000 by how many days that you've been living, and that's how many days God has been blessing you in just one area of your life, and you don't even say thank you. Right? And here's my thing. At that moment in the time with my son, I had to say thank you every single day. I had to say thank you for the platform. And I had to say thank you, God, for the opportunity to overcome something. You trust me with this. You trust me with this challenge. You trust me to help my wife that's going through mental health and everything issues right now because she's depressed at the fact that she got to be in the hospital with our son every day. You trust me with the fact that I got to, that my kids and everything right now are sleeping on the air mattress at their grandmother's house the entire summer, and their whole summer is shot because their brother is fighting cancer and fighting for his life right now. You trust me with that. Right? Thank you for the opportunity. Give me all the smoke. I want give me all the smoke, because guess what? I know that you birthed me for a reason. You created me for a reason. There's only one Kenneth Allen Thomas. There's only one. You put my fingerprint anywhere, they're going to identify it to me, not nobody else.
Come on, King. Come on, King.
You know?
Listen, man. Sometimes, man, guests come on here and y'all literally shake the room, right? Shake the foundation like an earthquake, like this is literally shifted, right? No pun intended, from an interview to an intervention.
Yes.
Right? This shifted from an interview, like don't miss this. This is an intervention because you were sent here on this platform to speak to somebody, and you're speaking something that I couldn't speak to them because they had to hear it from you because of where you are in your life.
Ken,
you talked about something. You talked about your other children and the impact that what Christian was experiencing and what he's dealing with. You talked about how that impacted them. And it hit me like a brick again. Those chills went down my arm. I felt them everywhere. Because I recently had a conversation with my oldest daughter, who's 12, and she'll be 13 next month. And the conversation brought her to tears again, because I don't talk a lot about Demont, right? That's my son that passed away, right? I don't talk a lot about him because it's a difficult situation every time. And we had to have a conversation. And my daughter was emotional, and she revealed the fact that like there isn't many days that go by, if any, that she don't think about her brother, right? Because she's my second born. He was literally my third born, right? Meaning that he was her little brother, right? And then my oldest son, same with him, right? So for them to grow up and go through those motions like you described, right, about being disconnected from the family unit, bro, because their mom and I were constantly in the hospital. Like we were there like every day for a period of about maybe 6 weeks straight, right? Before the day where God decided that, you know what, I'm going to take my angel back with me, right? So that impact that it had on your other children, that's what people don't understand.
They don't understand that.
And you champion that situation, bro. And being a father, being a leader, we talking about leadership. We talking about you, bro, having to be in the right mindset so that you can continue to do what was necessary for you to do. Like, that's selfless, bro. Like your son is dealing with what he's dealing with. Your family's dealing with what they're dealing with. Your wife is dealing with the mental depression because of what she's dealing with and experiencing. But you still had to make a conscious decision to pursue your purpose, right? Over every excuse. You pursued purpose. Why? Because you knew that you couldn't just lock into a shell and just be focused right there with Christian, because you knew the rest of the world needed you, man. And that speaks to the question that I was going to ask, but you've already answered it, right? It was speaking to how what you do impacts and add value to others. It gives life, bro. Like you literally give life. You are an atmosphere shifter. That's what you do. And it's evident. I'm sure everybody can see that this is organic. This is real. This ain't made up. This ain't scripted. Like, this is really happening right here in front of their eyes, bro. So I want to ask you this, because you talked about challenge. And since we're on that, adversity is a part of life. It's a part of growth. It's a part of this word purpose, right? So talk to me right quick, right? Well, not me, speak to the audience, right? Speak to them about that challenge, that adversity. Usually I would ask you, what is a challenge that you're facing right now? But it's clear, right? So what I want to ask you is how are you handling it today, right now, right? So that they know that when you make it through something, you only getting promoted to grow through something else. So let them know how you're dealing with it in present day, Clutch.
Absolutely. Self. I'm gonna be clear on that. Self. Okay, and I'll explain what that means. Spouse, kids, work, family, and friends. Okay, it's a priority thing. So oftentimes, I'll do a coaching call with a client, and I'll go to a group and I speak, and I ask them about their well-being, right? And oftentimes, when you give them those 5 words, you'll find that most people will put self number 3, number 4, sometimes number 5. I want to put everybody else before me. I want to be selfless, but in reality, you're being selfish.
I'm guilty, bro. Oh, I'm guilty.
You're being selfish, right? You're being selfish because you're in a sense of, you're doing everything else for everybody else, but other than you.
Come on.
Right? So how can a Demont, right, be at a position where, okay, if I put everybody else up on the rankings and something happens to me and I fall, who's gonna catch me? Right? Who's gonna catch me? You know what I'm saying? We got a homie that's part of the fam, you know what I'm saying, that works in the airport, right? Or works for the airlines. You know what I'm saying? My man Moss works for the airport, works for the airlines.
Bro, yep.
And I'm pretty sure Moss would tell you, to everybody that's a passenger, that if in the event that something happens with the plane, when this mask comes down, right, you put your mask on first and then you help somebody else. Right? We oftentimes don't do that because society and the culture that we live in has taught us to do things for everybody else before you. But how is it possible for a millionaire to teach someone else how to be a millionaire if they've never been a millionaire before?
Talk that talk, King. Yeah.
So I don't understand that. You've got to put yourself in a prime position to then teach everybody else that comes behind you. Miles Monroe said this. He said that behind every follower, right, inside every follower is a born leader. Inside every follower is a born leader. So overcoming this adversity, I prioritize self, meaning I get up in the morning and I do that thing that they say in Matthew, 6. All right. Seek ye first.
Yeah. Come on.
Seek ye first.
Wow.
We're not talking about a place. We're not talking about, oh, I can go hop on and go seek the kingdom of heaven and everything, and I'm gonna go fly over the sea and go do that. No, 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 no. Seek ye first, because it's already inside you. What is that thing, right? So when I talk about self, I talk about when you talked about earlier, going vertical.
Yeah.
Right? We got to go vertical. So self includes me getting up in the morning, making sure that I get my mind right, have my conversation with God. Or as a matter of fact, maybe I'm not having the conversation. Maybe he's having the conversation with me.
Come on.
Maybe I'm not, maybe I'm not saying anything at all. Because oftentimes we don't get the word from God because we don't know how to shut up. We don't get the word from God because we don't know how to be quiet. We don't get the word. We don't get the word or whatever because we saying, God, I want, God, I need, God, I gotta have, God this, God that. Yeah, but you're not allowing him to speak to you in order to give you what you need. Amen. So to answer your question, how do I fight this adversity? You know, it's all about understanding my true purpose in life. It's understanding who I am in life. It's understanding that I got priorities in life. And in overcoming that adversity is going to help somebody else. I want to be able to exemplify that. And with Christian and my son and my family, we've been able to do that every day. My son beat cancer in 149 days, bro.
Come on, man.
149 days. You want to talk about adversity? You know what I'm saying? They said that my son was going to be battling cancer for over 300 days. You know what I'm saying? You talking about almost a year. Said, nah, we're going to change the mind so we can change the game. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, I dance with him every single day, bro. Every day, or not every day, but like every other day, we was getting a dance routine in. We was making sure that we stay locked in, keeping that positive atmosphere going. Now, let me give y'all this real quick. You want to talk about adversity? It matters what you put inside you. It matters what you see the adversity that you going to face in life, right? Is going to be a test, right? See, storms come, right? Storms come to test what? The foundation.
Yeah.
Storms come to test the foundation. That's their one assignment. They come to test the foundation. Here's what we got to understand about the adversity that we're going to face. Either you're going to have your foundation built on rock or you're going to have it built on sand, right? Most people got their house built on sand because it's the easy way to go, right? Yeah. It's hard to build on top of a rock. It's hard to build on top of a mountain. It's hard to build on top of all of that stuff, right? So what I want y'all to get, right, is that when we face this type of adversity, when we face these storms that come inside of our life, you got to focus on what's in you, right, already. Michael Pitt said this. He said, lyrics affect the mind, rhythm affects the will, and the melody affects the emotions. Show me what a person is listening to, and I'll show you their lifestyle.
Come on, King.
So what are we listening to? What are we putting inside of us? What are we receiving? What are we accepting? Are you accepting someone, calling you something that's a limiting belief on them and they're trying to put it on you? Yeah. Or are you going to accept what God created you to be in the first place? And when you accept that, you understand the adversity that may come with it, but you are already equipped and you have a firm foundation.
Man, listen, bro, you dropped so many jewels. Like, hey, listen, I know y'all getting value from this. I don't even have to say if. Since you're getting value from this, this is the time to hit that subscribe if you haven't.
Come on now, y'all better do that. Y'all better do that.
Notification, that like, hey, type a comment, man, and let us know what you got from this, right? Go ahead, type that comment. But look, right quick, Kenneth, this is what I want you to do. Let them know where they can tap in with you right now, where they can see the proof, because you got the evidence. It's out there.
Absolutely.
Let them know the social media handles. Let them know the website. Let them know wherever they got to go to tap in with you. Go, bro.
Absolutely. Listen, you guys can follow me on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Kenneth Allen Thomas. We got somewhere close to 300,000 followers on all social media platforms. You can go to www.kennethallenthomas.com. And here's what I would suggest for you guys. There's a free gift when you go to my website. It's called Make Your Next Move the Best Move. Okay, how to lead through a storm. All right, now, I also want to give y'all this really quick. I got a new book that's coming out at the end of August 2022.
Let's go.
It's called Nobody's Coming to Save You, How to Lead Through a Storm. Nobody's coming to save you. And I want to be clear on this because I know the Christians will come on here and be like, well, Jesus is coming back. Yes, Jesus is coming back. Yes, God is there. What I'm talking about, there's no physical being coming to save you. It's no, and there's a dash in the middle, body. And I separated it for a reason, because the body is a physical thing. Nobody's
Mm.
coming to save you. Okay. At the end of the day, you're gonna have to do the work.
Yes, sir.
You're gonna have to do the work.
Yes, sir.
Ain't the teacher not gonna take a test for you.
Come
Period.
on,
You know
come
what I'm
on,
saying?
come on.
So
They can
so it's
give you all
coming
the
out.
tools.
They give you all the tools, but ain't nobody gonna do it for you. So nobody's coming to save you. How to lead through a storm is coming out next month, August. So it's gonna be awesome. Awesome book that people are gonna be able to use. It's a tool, but you
Yeah.
gotta do the work.
Got to do the work. I love it, bro. I can't wait. I'm here for it. You understand
Yes,
me?
sir.
Already. I know the evidence. I've seen it, bro. You know what I mean?
Yes,
I've
yes.
experienced it with you. So
Yeah,
I'm
this
already knowing.
testimonials, this testimonials all online. This testimonials from
Yeah.
a lot of my clients and people like that. You guys can go on my YouTube page. I'm posting knowledge, wisdom, all of that stuff. Good time. I'm all about faith, family, and leadership. So you're gonna see dancing, you're gonna see some motivation, you're gonna see leadership, you're gonna see all of that.
Grateful for you, King. Look, this
Yes,
my
sir.
brother from another mother, man. You know what I'm saying? Like from day one, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We linked, and it's just been mutual
It was
respect,
that
mutual
attraction,
love.
bro. We just had that.
Yeah.
We
We
just
ain't even
had
had
that.
nothing to do with it, bro. It just happened
Yeah.
to us or happened for us. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes.
So look, let me ask you this, right? We done inspired somebody, Ken. We done got somebody attention, right? They heard your story. They even heard my story that I didn't even mean to tell them. You
Right.
understand me?
That's right.
And now they want to know what this purpose feel like. They want to step in that purpose. So in about 30 to 60 seconds, right? I need you to let them know, right? Because they feel like they don't have a support system. They feel like they're not as spiritually inclined as you and I may be. They feel like they may not have a support system. They may not know how to get that vertical communication, right?
Mm-hmm.
What would you say to that person who wants to step out on purpose and place that purpose over pointless excuses, right? What would you say to them? But they just may be stuck in some area of their life. 30 to 60 seconds, give them what you got, King.
Here we go. What is the one thing that makes you angry? What is the one thing that upsets you the most in the world? What is the one thing that you just can't stand? Maybe that is the thing that you're called to fix, right? So when we look at me, like I think that leadership is something that I'm truly into. Personal development is something that I'm into. Leadership has been a huge thing where I think that there's poor leadership in certain parts of the country. I personally do. I think this is, and it's not just politically, it's inside the community as well too. So therefore, what I tend to do is I'm going to go out and I'm going to do my due diligence to make a difference in that particular form. And from there, everything started to then be built, right? Again, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and his all his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you, right? So seek the thing that you dislike the most. What is the one thing that you want to fix in the world? The thing that you want to fix in the world, more than likely, is your purpose that you should be following and passion that you should just go with.
Come on, man. Look, I couldn't have said it better myself. Look, y'all already know that's your big bro, Kenneth Allen Thomas, aka Kenny Clutch, aka the Dancing Dad. You know what I mean? Aka my bro from another mother. You know what I mean? Y'all already know me. I'm your big bro. I see y'all next week. It's Demont Pope, aka Mr. Purpose over pointless excuses. Yeah.
Just when they thought that